Hello everyone, welcome back to a UST subject. So today we are in part 8. Let's see what we are going to learn today. Conservation of biodiversity. Here in this slide, definition of biodiversity is given. Let's see what's its definition. Biodiversity conservation refers to the protection, upliftment and management of biodiversity in order to derive sustainable benefits for present and future generations. See, conservation meaning is preservation. How we can preserve something or conserve something by protecting them, by managing them, right? So, why to protect? To get sustainable benefits in present and future. Biodiversity conservation. Biodiversity conservation is the protection and management of biodiversity to obtain resources for sustainable development. So, the protection and management of biodiversity is important for sustainable development. Biodiversity conservation has three main objectives: to preserve the diversity of species, sustainable utilization of species and ecosystem, to maintain life-supporting system and essential ecological processes. These are the three main objectives of biodiversity conservation. Biodiversity and its conservation methods. This point is very important as per in point of view exam point of view. Biodiversity refers to the variability of life on earth. It can be conserved in the following ways: in situ conservation, ex situ conservation. So let's see what is in situ conservation and ex situ conservation. So in situ conservation, focus on the word in. In means internal, you may call it as. In situ conservation of biodiversity is the conservation of species within their natural habitat. Internal, within their natural habitat. In this method, the natural ecosystem is maintained and protected. See, suppose that aquarium. Let's take an example of aquarium. Aquarium belongs to water, right? So instead of bringing these all species to our swimming pool or whatever wherever we are maintaining this aquarium, maintain there only where they live, where from they belongs. The in situ conservation has several advantages. Following are the important advantages of in situ conservation. It is a cost-effective and convenient method of conserving biodiversity. Of course, if someone belongs to some place, why to bring them to our place? Bringing them our place is sometimes inconvenient, sometimes costly. So let them be there at their own place and we will protect them there only. A large number of living organisms can be conserved simultaneously. Since the organisms are in a natural ecosystem, they can evolve better and can easily adjust to different environmental conditions. Certain protected areas where in situ conservation takes place include national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reservoirs. The last point is very important for MCQ. Certain protected areas where in situ conservation takes place include national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves. Then, national parks. Let's see what is national park. These are small reserves maintained by the government. Its boundaries are well demarcated and human activities such as grazing, forestry, habitat and cultivation are prohibited. Of course, national parks is a property of government where these things, grazing, habitat, cultivation is prohibited. For example, Kanha National Park and Bandipur National Park. Then, what is wildlife sanctuaries? These are the regions where only wild animals are found. Human activities such as timber harvesting, cultivation, collection of woods, and other forest products are allowed here as long as they do not interfere with the conservation project. Also, tourists visit these places for recreation. So, wildlife sanctuaries where can we consider zoo is an example of wildlife sanctuaries. In zoo we can find tiger, lion. These are wild animals where tourists can go, where cultivation is allowed, collection of wood is allowed. Then what is biosphere reserves? Biosphere reserves are multi-purpose protected areas where the wildlife, traditional lifestyle of the inhabitants, and domesticated plants and animals are protected. Tourist and research activities are permitted here. So these are the three regions which come under in situ conservation. Then apart from this, what are the risks in situ conservation? There are 4 risks in situ conservation. See guys, this is only just for MCQ. They will ask you which is not the risk of in situ conservation. So instead of this 4, whatever is MCQ option, that is your answer. I said which is not the risk. Then what are the risks of in situ conservation? Demographic uncertainty, environmental uncertainty, natural calamities, and genetic uncertainty. Now let's see what is ex situ conservation. Ex means ex like an outside. Ex situ conservation of biodiversity involves the breeding and maintenance of endangered species in artificial ecosystem. Artificial ecosystems such as zoo, nurseries, botanical gardens, gene banks, etc. There is less competition for food, water, and space among the organisms. Then, ex situ conservation has the following advantages. The animals are provided with a longer time and breeding activity. The species bred in captivity can be reintroduced in the wild. Genetic techniques can be used for the preservation of endangered species. Then, demographic uncertainty, which is the risk of in situ conservation. What it means? Resulting from random events in the survival and reproduction of individuals. Environmental uncertainty, due to random or unpredictable changes in weather, food supply, and the populations of competitors, predators, etc. Then the next risk is natural calamities, flood, fires, or droughts which may occur at random intervals. And then the next risk is genetic uncertainty or random changes in genetic makeup due to genetic drift or inbreeding that alter the survival and reproductive probabilities of individuals. So guys, this is about your today's lecture. Only last point is left. So let's see you in next lecture.